Yeah, that was some spooky shit, man. I mean, you picked him up. He was in a guy outfit with the kind of like the one Beast wears with the night vision goggles, and then we go in to do the hostage. He's in the girl with the gray scuba outfit. We get on the chopper and he's Rose with long hair. It's like, damn. All right, be right back in a few.
playing with my Bryson. I reckon I've got it pretty good now.
With your what?
Bryson shotgun.
Oh, the Bryson.
Yeah. It's it at its best is still not as good, but I like the reload.
True.
Yeah, that battleships game, man, it was hard, eh? What, like, you get in a little bit too close, all over.
Oh, damn.
And,
Too close, and then everybody starts hitting you from distance.
I had a battleship that got wiped. Three battleships hit it. Bang, bang, bang. Everyone uses armor piercing.
Oh, yeah. Armor piercing is awesome.
But, yeah, hard. You get used to it, and then you go back and play normal, against people, and everyone's just running around in circles. Everyone's terrible.
Practice. Lots and lots of practice.
Yeah, it's some good fun. There's these new Chinese ships.
Yeah.
Not even still get it. Destroyer, and it's got the those that go under like deep.
We got submarines on World of Warships now?
No, the torpedoes themselves.
Oh.
You could always do that. I saw that. I was looking through the Chinese ships, and can't hit a destroyer with them. They will go under the water most of the time
Oh, you mean sink
and
them?
pop up just at the last minute. Sink. The
Oh, the
torpedoes
the
go deeper.
the torpedoes. The torpedoes.
Yeah. It's good to see how tight your pellet spread is. I shoot the door inside the range.
Yeah. It's nice and snug, huh? Isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so apparently in humanitarian aid, there are VR headsets for drones that were sent to Russian troops, and they have explosives in them. So
Wow.
they put it on their head, they turn it on, and it goes boom.
Suppose it kills them.
Yep. Like what the fuck?
And who sent them to them?
It showed up in humanitarian AIDS packages,
Wow.
but it didn't say who sent it. It just said humanitarian aid.
Humanitarian aid, but it's a drone.
Yeah, I think they sent them little tiny drones to play around with.
Yeah.
Because they won't work with the military drones.
Yeah. Unreal. And they sent it to Russia.
Yep, the Russian troops. Like
That's nasty.
the same thing they did with Arabs in Gaza. Sent them cell phones. Turn them on. Boom.
Yeah. Pages or something. Yeah, cell phones, and they blew up in their pockets. And now, what Trump wants to take over Gaza. What he's saying?
Well, it's still in the works, from what I can tell. And right now, the Democrats
Yeah.
are pushing really hard against him on pretty much everything he's putting out.
Yeah, of course.
And they've managed to
Well, that's
convince
surprising.
the Supreme Court to put a restraining order on his executive orders. Which, yeah, that's not good, guys. Come on.
So with the, so I've seen a few things where it had that this Gaza thing is a bit of a, well, the whole thing from the attack on that rail to everything that's happened since is all of just a big battle for control of a huge gas deposit which sits just off the coast,
Uh,
like billions and billions of dollars worth of gas.
yeah, and
And
they continue to try and make it an ethnic cleansing type of thing.
well, if there's no one there, then you don't have to give them any money.
True.
You know, like I wouldn't put it past any country to, oh, let's accidentally let some people in and they'll kill some people and make sure they've all got cameras and it looks as bad as possible.
Oh, but
Yeah,
Elon Musk is having so much fun going through the finances of the U.S. He is having a heyday going through the finances, man.
yeah,
So far, he's been in there for a month,
yeah.
and I think he's found about 2.8 trillion of wasted money. That was
Wow.
most of it was going overseas and funding Russia and China and Saudi Arabia and the terrorist organizations. And the Democrats are not happy about that. You found our secret funds.
Well,
Yep.
some of them will probably end up in jail, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah. But they're going to continue to go. I was aware. Doesn't matter whether you say you were unaware or not. You were in charge. Your signature's on them, and
Yeah,
that's you,
that's it.
baby.
So that Rand Paul um, interviewing a woman from, she from some, I don't know, and anyway, she was trying to deny that America was paying for gain-of-function research in China. Stopped around 2019.
Yeah, the doctor that was saying that these vaccines were necessary and all that. He's the one signing off on the papers that were funding the research in China.
Oh, the Fauci dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
saw
the guy
him
was
getting
completely
questioned, and
unaware.
I'm like, this guy's anything but trustworthy.
No, I knew he wasn't trustworthy from the first get-go. He avoid answering questions.
He's very good at it.
I mean, personally, I'd sit there on the board and I'd be like, okay, we're gonna sit here until you answer the question.
Yeah.
You can go round and round all you want, but if you don't answer the question, I'm gonna have to put you in jail.
Oh, you hold him in contempt
No,
till he answers.
I won't hold him in contempt. I'll just put him in jail for refusal
Oh,
to answer. Even if he doesn't want to answer because he thinks, it'll incriminate him, then he can go ahead and say, I plead the fifth. That's fine. We'll leave it at that and drop it. But you want to spend 20 minutes running around and around and around and around and not answer the question? Sorry, dude. But, ask you a yes or no question and get 20 minutes of an explanation that has nothing to do with the actual question.
yeah.
That's the point where I got to put you in jail, dude. And we'll go ahead and just put you in jail for treason.
At least
Spending American money on creating
develop a
COVID-19.
develop a bioweapon and then let it loose, and then profit from it. It's
There's so many.
it's like fucking. He should be in the same boat as Hitler.
Oh yeah, and then we found out that half the COVID vaccine viruses had HIV and Ebola in them. So it's like,
Oh, the
what?
huh?
Yeah, the COVID-19 vaccines. They had DNA
Well,
from HIV and DNA from Ebola.
because I looked into it, and the the vaccines were, I think, originally made to fight AIDS. That's why they didn't send it to Africa.
God,
No, that's actually not a joke. It's like,
it's the
wow.
truth.
But
It's the truth.
yeah.
It is the truth.
It was, that's why it's been around for 20 years, because they've developed it to actually fight AIDS, but then never released it. Unless you're Magic Johnson.
Yeah, you can spend the $3 million per dose. And well, then we don't care if it's been approved or not. He paid for it. It's his.
Yeah.
Some of this shit that's going on is like,
Well, it's probably been going on forever. We're just finding out more.
I'm beginning to wonder how many of these VR headsets that they send out with the drones have explosives in them.
Mm.
And if they've been shipped to the U.S. Because, the most of the humanitarian aid comes from the U.S. And all that stuff gets x-rayed
Yep.
before it gets back put in an aid box, just to make sure it's not what it's not supposed to be. You know, right now, more than 2/3 of our government employees are afraid for their jobs, and some of them are throwing big old fits that we can't be fired. It's against the law. We wrote a law about it, so we can't be fired. And it's like, well, I sent you an email, but you didn't send one back, just like you did with Twitter.
Yeah.
You didn't reply to the email, so you didn't want to keep your job. You are gone. You don't want to
Yeah.
come into the office to do your job. You are gone.
Yeah. Every man and his dog wants to fucking work from home now. How cushy is that?
Oh yeah, that's so cushy, man. Just put
How
on
expensive for the
put on
company?
a dress
It
shirt and a
lost
tie
time.
and walk around in your underwear.
Um, and how expensive? Like you can't just walk over and say, "Hey, what about this?" You got to email. Wait,
Yeah,
then got to email, and then they've got to wait. Oh, the day's finished.
I'm done. Not answering any more
Yeah.
emails. You know. Then the next day starts, and then they have, instead of the 30 that were there that night, they have 350. They don't
Yeah.
make it all the way through. Well, guess what? My day's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not pulling any punches.
I
We've
like it.
a little bit $2.4 trillion so far, depending on if they can actually prove that they need to stay at their job. And a lot of the finances of shit going out of the country is being looked at pretty heavily. And I'm fully behind Trump on getting rid of income taxes and sales taxes, because up until 1895, our
Yeah.
government was supported entirely off of tariffs. We built roads, telegraph systems, railroads, funded our armies, our military, all off of tariffs. So the time of leaning on the citizens of the United States is coming to an end.
There's
Everybody's
a British guy who's is referencing Trump and that. Like, I don't know if you've seen. There's this huge big inquiry now into all the rapes stuff that are going on there, like Pakistanis coming over
yeah,
the country and organised rape gangs of young
yeah,
women.
yeah.
And this guy's saying that they spent 33 million or 30 million pounds on trying to get rid of the rape gangs. Send like couple of hundred million to Pakistan in relief aid and stuff like that.
Well, right now, as
The
it
same country
sits
that's sending these
here
rapists over here, they're
in
deporting them
the
to here.
in the U.S., everybody's concerned about the prices of everything going up because of tariffs. And 90% of the stuff that we're importing, we don't need to import. We're
Yeah,
exporting the same amount of stuff, and we don't need to be exporting it. It needs to be staying here, keeping our prices low, and feeding our own people. Eggs, bacon, our meats.
yeah,
more than half of our meats are coming from outside of the country. Bananas I can understand. Those are coming from South America predominantly. We get pineapples from Hawaii. We got some people growing pineapples in Southern California. But I mean our potatoes, you know, as it sits right now, Easter's coming up, and the biggest meme on Facebook right now is we're going to have to paint potatoes instead of Easter eggs. Because there are what, half a dozen states here in the country that their biggest state export is potatoes, corn, carrots, beans, peas, and more than half of that is being exported out of the country. And then
Yeah.
we're importing more than what we're exporting. Why are we importing more than we're exporting?
Yeah. Like, our natural gas, we got a huge deposit in Western Australia.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah, the gas. And so they ship it out by the huge tanker loads, sell it cheap overseas, and then Australia pays like absolute top dollar for our gas.
For your own gas.
And, yeah, and so they said, oh, no, you have to make sure you can sell to Australia. That's a priority. So they went, okay. So apparently they built this tiny pipe that wouldn't be enough to run like one town or a suburb.
Oh
Ran this
dear.
pipe all the way down from northern Western Australia, thousands of kilometres down to the city. And yeah, there you go. There's your pipeline. But it's enough to cook a barbecue. And then these huge tankers are just selling it overseas in bulk.
No, 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 no,
Yeah, so someone's getting the
no.
brown paper bags, some big brown paper bags.
And another thing that's going to come to a grinding halt is how much electricity we export out of the country.
Yeah,
If we're going to be switching over to electric vehicles, we need to keep 90% of what we export.
yeah,
And even then, we still don't have the infrastructure to handle it. Each, I'll put it this way: one electric vehicle, I'll use one of Tesla's cars.
yeah.
It stores enough electricity to run half a dozen houses for a week
Yeah, right.
just to charge it up. And that's over an 8-hour
Wow.
period.
Yeah,
So it's pulling enough juice to run air conditioner, lights, refrigerator,
yeah,
electric cooking stove, electric hot water
yeah,
heater for an entire week for one
wow.
house, for 7
Yeah,
houses actually.
yeah,
Because the average household down here is usually using about 1.3 to 1.8 kilowatts a day.
yeah,
And one Tesla sedan will hold 40 kilowatt hours in its battery.
yeah,
So that's even if we just bumped it down to 1 kilowatt per day for each household for an apartment.
yeah,
Let's go for an
yeah,
apartment. Small, compact, not well insulated, but still got AC,
yeah,
heating, hot water, electric stove, refrigerator,
yeah,
washer and dryer, all that.
yeah.
That one apartment for 40 days.
Wow.
And you want to take that 40 days, compress it into 8 hours, and then store it in that car. The, just by simply looking at the math. But then, I see videos of, Gen Z who are getting ready to come up on their 35 to 40, like Jay, who are still confused about what happens with the sun when it goes down.
Yeah.
They can't understand that, a quarter to 9 is 8:45, not 8:75.
Yeah.
They don't know math, they don't understand math, and they don't have an inkling of anything that goes
Oh
on
yeah.
in the real world.
It's only going to get worse. Like now, with all the, people aren't even counting with money like anymore.
God, they can't even talk straight.
Yeah.
The Anybody under the age of 35, I can't have a conversation with them because they're going to go
Yeah.
cap, riz, or whatever this and that and the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, how about use real words? Those are real words. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Your generation came up with those just so that we wouldn't understand what the fuck he's talking about. Now, I'm going to ask you a simple question, and I want you to use a complete sentence. Do you have a canoe I could borrow? Please. And all they're going to be going is, what's a canoe?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to smack somebody.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy, eh? And
I'm
they
when
believe the internet. The internet has become sole provider of,
of
or
of
the major
of
provider of
their
information.
truth.
You like, and
And
I've been telling my kids non-stop, do
I
not
mean,
believe everything on the internet.
when we came up with the smartphone, it was like awesome. We're going to have the entirety of human knowledge in the palm of our hand.
Yeah.
Were you dancing?
Am I dancing?
Listen to that.
Hey?
That was Jay's daughter.
Yeah.
Athena, what are you doing? And what do we end up doing with it?
Yeah.
5 years after the smartphone came out, 90% of people are spending 4 hours a day watching kitty cat videos of them running up and down a piano.
Yeah.
We're not
Well,
searching for things. We're not, in most of the Google searches, that's what they're looking for. Cat videos. Funny cat videos.
yeah. That's the thing with my kids. Looking, they ask me a question. I'm like, no, you've got something in your hand that can give you an
When
accurate answer to that.
when my grandkids show up and they start talking to me with that cap and riz shit, and I'm like, no, you use actual English, not slang, okay? Because if
Yeah.
you want slang, I can go fuckity fuck fuck fuck. You fuck. There's a bunch of slang right there. There's a whole bunch of wild card words. You figure out whatever it is. You want to have a conversation with someone, you use actual words. Blue, fish, gill. Okay. Shrimp, scampi. There you go. There's a whole word right there. And that describes what that object is.
Yeah.
Because, yeah,